Yeah, my name is Carly. My pronouns are they, them, and welcome to my writing vlog, or like more accurately, to the In-Betweeny Diaries between two major first drafts. The truth is, I'm working on a first draft, but because it's December and I actually wanted to have like a more quiet month, it's not really working out as planned, but still. Um, I'm basically doing like an in-between season. The project I'm working on at the moment is called The Girl from the World, and I'm in chapter 6 of 25 planned chapters. So basically, I've like the first fifth of the project is not done, but you know, the first draft is there. I think that's the best thing I can say about it. Um, so with sort of finishing work before the holidays, it's now getting into a critical phase, which is also why I didn't want to put so much pressure on me to do basically like the vlogging on top of everything. So I'm just like not taking a step back, but just powering down a bit. Um, the one thing that I still have to do today is to send out my Christmas, or better, winter um newsletter. I haven't sent out one for a while. Sort of I prepped one and then I missed the sort of the date when it should have gone out. Um so at the moment my newsletter is like a more of a quarterly affair, not a monthly or even beyond, like weekly would be absolutely beyond me. So if you want to, you can sign up. It's totally free. The link is in the description box below, and I will send you a download link for the EPUB file as a sign up gift for the first volume in the Slow Moon series. And so sort of a very risk-free of sampling my writing. Obviously, you can unsubscribe anytime. And the whole series is out there now. So if you want to, you can binge through the series in one go. Yes. So basically today, um, just after filming this, I really want to send out the newsletter. It's almost finished, prep, like it's almost there. I think I need to add a few links, but I've done all the graphics, I've done all the bits and pieces. So that's all there is to it. But sometimes even like the smallest things that can hold you back. And then I went to the lake today where I'm doing my cold water swimming, which has done wonders all around. It was when I set off from home, it was -1 degrees. Um, it sort of, I think I went to sort of 2 degrees when I arrived at the lake, even though I had purposefully not done it like first thing in the morning, but I think my session started at 10. But I still had to scrape frost off the car. That hasn't happened in a few days now. So for tomorrow morning, I've put the foil on the windscreen just to be safe. Um, because the temperatures have been around 10 degrees, but it also has been really rainy, but suddenly overnight the temperature dropped. And when I set out from home, it was like beautifully crisp blue sky. Um, you can still see all the sort of the wild fruits and the hedgerows. And then I came closer to where all the lakes are, and suddenly there was like a thick fog over the land, and that was really lovely to sort of go into the fog. And obviously I knew sort of, yes, the fog will clear because the rest basically is already like blue skies. But because I think because the water temperature was still quite sort of around 7 something degrees, and then you had like the frosty air across it. So actually, when I went into the water, there was like a thin film of mist across the surface, and it was amazing. They also had like a fire pit going, so you could smell the wood smoke over the surface of the water while you were swimming. I managed to do 500 meters, and then usually after that, my toes are ready to fall off. I've bought some like proper neoprene gloves, and they have been a lifesaver. So I think for next year, I probably need to get some proper neoprene socks as well. So at the moment, I have sort of little neoprene point something degree this morning with the ears. Um, so every like lots of people are wearing bubble hats. Um, and I'm yeah also wearing a woolly hat when I'm swimming, and I have my little tow float, that's sort of a rainbow tow float behind me, so it's great fun. And at the today that's really like the hardcore swimmers. So I'm obviously, because I'm visiting my parents over Christmas, I won't be able to do that um while I'm with them. I hope I can, so I will definitely take a swimming costume just in case we do some, I don't know, there's a spa town quite close to my parents. They have like a lovely saltwater um bath and sauna thing there. So I'm yeah definitely taking a swimming costume just in case. But yeah, I will miss 2 weeks, and usually the temperatures drop sharply at the end of December, so it's going to be interesting to see how things look when I'm back beginning of January. If I mean, I will probably be booking a session, um, but yeah, I might have to skip it. It depends on the state of the roads as well, because I'm not. It takes me like 45 minutes to get there. My favorite route is via like back roads. They are beautiful. The first part is sort of windy, then you go through a little quaint village that has sort of thatched roof cottages and a lovely square and a lovely church, and you go through, and then the next bit is very up and down, and you have the ridgeway on your right, and especially at the moment where there's no more leaves on the trees, you see very far into the landscape, and it's just stunning, especially this morning. So this is why I, even though it takes a bit longer than taking the motorway, I really love to take like the little side route. It almost feels a bit like, when you go to somewhere like Avebury or Stonehenge, where so you obviously have your stone cycle, but you also have the procession path up to the stone cycle. Almost feels a bit like a pilgrimage to the lake, because it's like beautiful landscape as well. Um, so yeah, so that was today, but because it was so cold, actually did not stay very long at the lake. I had like a tea and I think a scone or something, and then I actually left. Usually I stay a bit longer, but I was really, especially my feet today were almost frozen solid. So I basically, on the way back, I've passed a cafe for like lots of times, and I thought today, yeah, I need somewhere to warm up properly. So I stopped, and it turned out it was actually like a small cafe, um, and the only seat left, the only table left was right next to a radiator. So I was very happy just to sit and write and and come back up to temperature. Um, Especially, yes, hand and feet. I bought some like lined gloves as well. But once my hands are cold, it's it's really difficult to, with the finger gloves, to get them back up to temperature. It's, for me, it's much better when the skin warms the skin, because I think my body temperature is naturally quite high. So actually, like having the skin close together works better, but mittens are just really difficult to work with in all um, occasions. And because my hands are really big, I have problems. So there seems to be like, the fitted gloves that have sort of half fingers. They don't come in big. They don't tend to come in bigger sizes. I couldn't find anything at my sort of local outdoor store when they had their big sale, so I just bought some men's size glove uh, for I think like reduced, and then they had like two for one or something. So I bought like two pairs of gloves, and one is like for nice, and the other one's a bit because like the lake there's like today especially there's so much mud around, so you get a bit dirty and grubby. So I'd rather have some nice ones and some that I use there. But as I said, today it was just too cold. But the coffee shop where I stopped had really good coffee, and it seems to be an ample parking as well. It's always a bit of a thing when you're sort of trying to find a coffee shop, and especially in like the smaller villages, and then where to park. But this was perfect. So I'm sure like in the winter I will just stop there from time to time and have a coffee if I really need warming up. And then I was really lucky to find parking here when I came home because my cottage doesn't come with a parking space, which is hugely annoying, and causes me quite a bit of logistical trouble because you always have to see, oh, what time is it? They're sort of the bumper time, so it's really difficult to come home and then you have nowhere to leave your car, especially if you have like shopping, groceries in the back. And I'm still trying. I've been quite a bit more successful in taking or basically my stock of books from the car inside. A bit in the way, but I think because I will be away for quite some time. I'll deal with it in the new year. The main thing is that they're out of the car. And then tomorrow I will have my last market of the year, my Christmas market, and I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm not really having high hopes, to be honest, because the last two times in that location didn't really go that well. It might change. People have said that the Christmas markets in that location usually are very good. It might, but it also might be that like my stuff is just not sort of location appropriate. Um, it's really funny. I mentioned that so because I do like hand spun yarn as well, so I'm working on something like a project that I can take with me to my parents and knit up over Christmas, because I just need something to do. Um, and I have yarns and a few like simple knits in my local community craft slash gift store. And I've actually sold quite a few of the scarves that I made this autumn. And otherwise, it's just not into it. So usually, if people know about spinning and dyeing and yarn preparation, they say, "Oh, that's actually a really good price. Are you sure?" And I have to say, it's sort of a, do I want them to pile up and not be sold? Because I'm doing it anyway. I'm spinning, I'm doing stuff. Or do I want to be known for really nice stuff, but like very reasonable priced? And then I think that's also the what the local shop needs to sort of um yeah consider, because they want stuff to move out. It's basically they take a commission that goes towards upkeep of the building and of the community center. So it is a bit of community work as well. And obviously, because they have volunteers there who are there to mind the shop and to sell. I think it's a really good thing all around. Lots of people have asked me like, why don't I do an Etsy shop or something? But Etsy also takes commission, and I have to deal with the shipping. Um, while if it's in the community shop, that's all taken care of. So at the moment, I really don't have the bandwidth for an Etsy shop. I think that would sort of be the straw that breaks the camel's back, to be honest. Maybe at some point, but not at the moment, and not with like markets coming in the new season already. So we are doing stuff. Life does not stand still. I'm going to insert a bit of like B-roll from the market this weekend and everything, so you have like an impression of what's happening at the moment. I'm I've also received a few more nice inks because, of course, once you're in the rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos of people swatching like the most amazing inks, you get really jealous and you want them all. Um, I went with some smaller sample bottles because also of the price. I know I'm very prone to, I don't know, jumping from special interest to special interest. Um, but the next thing that I want to try, because it also fits a bit in the with the purple notebook that I'm using, is the Diamine China Blue. So and a bit softer. I'm at the moment I'm not I haven't bought any shimmer inks, which I think looks so amazing. But I'm a bit worried that when it comes to typing up the manuscripts, that it's just going to be so hard on the eyes to actually make out what's written there, because my handwriting can be really hard to decipher after if I put it aside for a few months. Sometimes I have just no idea what's there. I mean, it also makes me think about, okay, what word could it be, and maybe is there a better one? um but yes, that's also something I need to consider. So at the moment I've gone for just the regular inks. I'm still loving the Urban Mundas Pousser de Lune. Yeah, you know. It's been, I mean, I bought a 100 milliliter bottle because it was sort of a good price for the amount of ink. Um, So it's an awful lot of ink to go through, especially as the new fountain pen with a fine nib that I bought. It I had a look today. It ran out of ink today from like the first converter filling, and I don't think I filled the converter all the way up. And I think I wrote at least like 25 pages in like the A, like the no B5. No, I think it's A5 journal, sort of not the big letter size, but the one up. Um, so it takes an awful long time to run out. So I have enough. So I was very conscious about not buying like the big bottles, even though I really wanted them. Um, and because I've watched quite a few videos now, and the creator that I've watched the most of is quite a fan of Diamond Inks. The other one that I got is Writer's Blood, which obviously with the name, but it's sort of a really dark red, and I think it will fit really well with this one. I'm a bit worried that they look too similar, but this is why I got the small bottle. Um, and then the other twos are Aurora Borealis, because the one that I'm using at the moment, the other one, which I think it's an 80 milliliter, um, is called teal, but I think it's not teal for my drink. So this is much more what I'm thinking of as teal. So it's like more bluey. And then the last one that I really love the look of is Ancient Copper. I think that's also a very standard ink that lots of people have in their collection and really like. And it's sort of orange, like a brown but orangey. And because I'm very much into oranges and actually quite, I just thought it looked stunning and it's dark enough because they are, I think it's called autumn oak and there's amber and I love those two, but I'm a bit worried that they're a bit too light. And again, it might be huge pain for me to decipher my writing. I don't do enough sort of ornamental stuff or drawings, having lots of inks that are actually too light for me to use. So I really need to stick to writing inks. I might invest in sort of two shimmer inks. There's a very I've seen some lovely ones, and unfortunately, I think they come in pretty big bottles. So I might do like two in the new year, and then maybe by then the bug, like the special interest, has moved on again. But I've that happens to me. Make of that what you will. Um, but yeah. Um, and because this is the writer's vlog, whatnot, it also makes an awful lot of sense to spiral into inks and stationery because I just can't help myself. And with the order from, I think I ordered from Cult Pens, they include like lovely little, I don't know, it's like a paper clip, but it's like more sophisticated. I just love it. It's sort of a little green thingy. Um, so I think I'm going to I just saw it now. It actually has like a little smiley face on it. So yeah, I think I'm going to put this in the notebook to keep with me because it's just so cute. And I think I've decided not to take the laptop with me for the holidays. I just want to relax, to be honest. I just want to splooge and do a bit of writing if it moves, the spirit moves me, but not so I, which also means I have to do not just the newsletter today, but also some admin stuff because I need to log some invoices for the the tax return next year. Yay! Um, but at the moment, it's not too bad. That's I think there are 5 invoices I need to log and can get it done in 20 minutes or less. Just need to do it, and that's the horrible thing. So yay! If that's something you want to do, like the um if you want to be an indie author, just beware there's paperwork involved. Okay, I think that's it for now. This is my in betweeny update. Um, I might do like another one, so we are sort of in the new year. Depending on where you see it, have a lovely winter break. I hope you have one. Um, take the time to rest. I'm planning on it. I don't know if I can. It might all go horribly wrong, especially at my descent into travel chaos. I'm a bit of a nervous traveler, which also comes from just being very tall, very fat. And the planes are a nightmare for me anyway. I've sort of, from my build, I can sort of fit myself in, but I always need to have like my own seatbelt extender because otherwise it's a whole nother nightmare. But it also means I just have to make sure that I like book not book but check in early so I can ideally have like a seat at the aisle so I can stretch out at least one leg. Like the combination of tall and fat is not a great combination for any public transport, but in a plane it's especially horrible. Thankfully, it's only like an hour or flight. I'm also planning on taking a few masks with me because, yeah, usually I don't take a lot of public transport, but so it happens often to me that I get sick after flying, and I really don't want to bring something horrible to my parents as well and just ruin the whole holiday. So yeah, I'm probably going to wear a mask. So that's sort of travel horror, and but I think we're getting there. It's always sort of the 2 weeks before are usually the most horrific, and then once we're getting close to the date, actually almost everything is done. But hey ho, anxiety. Um, yes, I sort of have a lovely break, and sort of in between the years, sort of the in-betweeny diaries, in between the years, is always like a really odd time, I find. I'm going to see friends, so actually going to travel by train a fair bit, which not too far. Hopefully that's going to be fun, and just gets me out of the, I don't know, being a kid in your old room again syndrome. Um, and then I'll see you hopefully it's like once we've all on the other side. Um, but yeah, there might be another short video coming. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to shut up now. If you made it this far, thank you.